Bishop Talbot Swan, who is an enunciator. He is a man of the cloth. He's a bishop. Hey, what the hell? I want to be a bishop. You want to be a bishop. Nick is officially Bishop Nick Sia. I am Bishop Daniel J. Dakich. That's right. We are bishops on this show. Everybody's going to be a bishop. I mean, what the hell? If this racist jackass can say he's a bishop, then everybody's a bishop. Here's why we're talking about the great Talbot Swan. Bishop Talbot Swan. Yeah, pull this. It plays Jingle Bells Jag-Off. Anyway, the great bishop who once accused OutKick of spewing anti-black hate. No, I think we spew anti-Bishop Talbot Swan. Hey, Talby, shut up. Anyway, and once called Caitlin Clark's fans racist. Everybody's racist to old Talby. I mean, if you ain't me, you racist. Yeah? All right. He's back on Twitter posting racist rants against white folk. This time saying white men are what's wrong with America. Everybody's got what's wrong with America. We need change. Until this changes, we will never be a society. And then I go down to the 79th and Fall Creek Kroger, as I did yesterday. Lee's out of town. I went and bought me a ham. I did. I went and bought me a bottle of wine, ham, no-carb ice cream, some caramel topping to mix the carbs, and some potatoes, mashed potatoes, and I made a nice dinner for myself. And when I went to the Crochet right down there, some call it the ghetto Kroger. I don't. I had a buddy of mine say, hey, man, you shop at, and he's black, do you shop at ghetto Kroger? I go, what's that? He goes, 79th and Fall Creek. I go, I do shop at that Kroger. Didn't know it was called that. He started laughing. But anyway, everybody gets along. Everybody gets along. Had a nice conversation with a couple of people. The clerk there went to Gary Roosevelt High School, which was my rival. And, of course, she remembers all of this. You know what I'm saying? It's nice. But Talby, the old bishop, he's mad. He's bigly mad. Let's see what Talbot put up there on Twitter yesterday. He's pissed, man. White men are what's wrong with America. White men are what's wrong with America. Look at Talbot, man. He's trying to get that cash. He's trying to get that Joel Osteen money. Come with me, you see. White men are what's wrong. Yeah, right. In the segment, Swan explains why white men are evil. Owe him reparations. Of course, you'd always know it's coming to money. I mean, damn, movies are made on clowns like this. Industries are built making fun of clowns like this because it always comes to money. There are a couple definites in life. If that high school coach or teacher gets fired unexpectedly, it's either over money or sex with someone he or she should not be having. And when Preacher Man preaches division, it is always about money. And you see it very clearly. White men, evil, owe him reparations. I don't know you shit. I'll tell you right now, it ought to be shunned. Good. Perfect. Shun me. Please, God, more people shun me. I volunteered to be shunned. Now, I had a rule in dating because my first wife used to shun me for days. Told Lee, told other, hey, you shun me, we're done. One beautiful young lady did, we were done. I don't handle the shun. But I want to be shunned by society. A society shunning me would make my life glorious. Now, when I was in my 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, maybe not, but at 62, shun your ass off. When you see me in the mall, look away. When you see me out somewhere, don't say, Doc, it sucks. Look away. Oh, chicapesta, would that be glorious? If NAAC presidents could be racist, according to Swan, black people cannot be racist. That rant would be considered racist. I'm not smart enough to understand this. But when a brother yells at a white dude, yo, white boy, that's racist. I'm just saying. I didn't think it was until wokeness started. And then I started exploring my woke necessity. And I came to the conclusion, yo, calling me white boy, shut up. And I've been called that my entire life. I'm a CWB. That's a cool white boy to you. Anyway, as would some of his other comments since accusing OutKick of monetizing racism. Yeah, we do. He has a new nickname for the white folks, a few nicknames. They include, melanin deficient demons and mayonnaise drippers. Oh, that's hurtful. That hits you right to the core. See, if you're gonna try to get the cap money, if you're gonna try to be a dude in racial politics, in the art of monetizing racist, Reverend, Bishop, whatever the hell your name's, Telby, do us all a favor and be clever. Mayonnaise drippers? Come on. Mayonnaise drippers, melanin, I know what it means. I just can't say it today. My eyes hurt. Deficient monsters. Demons we are. Yes, we are the white devil. Go with white devil. White devil always works. White devil is short. It's succinct. It says what you're talking, who you're talking to, white, and how you're describing them, devil. Telby, don't confuse this. Don't try to be smarter than you are because you're a dumbass. You're a proven dumbass. Surely there are people out there that are following you. Surely there are women out there that are having sex with you. Surely they are, because every guy that puts on some shades and speaks like you gets a group of young women with daddy issues. But having said that, come on. If you're going to call us names, give us a good one. White devil. Always liked it, man. You're the white devil. Yeah, hey, all right, I can accept that. Hey, I don't like it, but it's succinct. It's descriptive. Yeah. All right. So this is throwback to Talby's tweets. The bishop. I'm a bishop too. Bishop Dan Dakich. I'm changing my official Twitter handle. I am. So if I slap the taste out your mouth, take your keys and drive off with your car. Is that conquered and taken or stolen? Come on and white-splain it to me some more, Mr. Mayo. All right. Well, there ain't no chance. One thing I've learned growing up in Northwest Indiana is there is no chance that guy, Talby, can slap anything out of anybody. My guess he's this tall. My guess he's one of them dudes that all of a sudden figured out, man, I'm poor. I better start racism. I better start getting after it. I'm going to name myself a bishop. He ain't slapping nothing out of nobody's nowhere. Let's just start with that. It's a cute saying, though, one that people have always used it. I'm going to slap the taste out of your mouth. Oh, wow, that's scary. Let's go. That's what I always say. All right, let's see. Swan is not a fan of Caitlin Clark either. In April, Swan called fans of Clark part of the Mayo posse. See what he's doing here? I think he is equating Mayo to white people. However, some folks in the porn industry call, Mayo, and I'm thinking old Swanee likes the taste of it, if you know what I'm saying. And I think you do. Mayo posse. Non-melanated bigots and a bunch of KKQ Caitlins. Oh, man. Well, I tell you what, when Talbert gets going, he shows he's really stupid. I mean, be original, son. Come on. Give us something we can work with. Specifically, he called America's conscious Bobby Barack is a well-documented anti-black racist who writes for OutKick, an extreme alt-right anti-black racist sports rag with a documented history of faux journalism and attacking black people for condemning anti-black racists. Well, I would argue at least he's making sense here. I get it. If you're going to make money at this, you got to go with what he says here. Alt-right, anti-black, racist. Sports rag, I don't know if we would call ourselves that. We're kind of all-encompassing. Faux journalism, attacking black people for condemning anti-black race. No, we're condemning you because you're an idiot. I mean, what are you going to do? And I love that I've spent 11 minutes on you. It's fun. This is fun. I've seen Talby. He's amusing. He's like that little guy running around. Everybody's got that little guy in the neighborhood Well, they could be white, they could be black. That's really useless, but they're funny. That's this Bishop Telby. Telberson. Oh, wait, Talbert Swan. He's that little guy in the neighborhood. I had Ohio State. I had a little guy after Ohio State beat Indiana. He and a bigger guy kind of came at me, and I couldn't make fun of him enough. He reminds me of the little guy, trying, hoping, begging, pleading. In Talby's case, he's hoping for money. Talby, I hope this makes you money. It's a very popular show. Very popular man right here. White man, good man, solid man. See, I'm so cool, I'm actually going to lunch tomorrow with my black friend. See what I did there? I'm that cool. I'm a CWB. I can see the headline in the Indy Star. Dakich brags about having a black friend. I obviously think Talbert is an idiot, and I love the fact that we have given him now 12 minutes. I may count the minutes. Talby, here's to you, baby. Keep hustling. Keep hustling. Don't pay your taxes. Show up at the Four Seasons. Drink cognac. Smoke big cigars. And you too can be Reverend Al. Why all these guys faking it with that religion stuff? I love it. All right. Hang on, caller. Talby got me excited. Hey, and by the way, let's just get to the chase here. Former Alabama head coach Nick Saban is so freaking happy that Alabama didn't make the college football playoff. I don't care what you think. I don't care what you think. You know. I know. Hell, a lot of coaches, one in particular that comes on our show and is a friend of the show, not named Urban Meyer, by the way. He's a little bit older. He used to root against his son, according to his friends. Wanted nobody to overshadow him. Not saying it's accurate. I'm saying it was one of his friends that told me that. No chance Saban wanted Alabama to be better than when he was there. They obviously are not. Saban had a good year. He's been terrific on game day. He seems to have common sense. He never ages. And, oh, by the way, his Alabama squad that they relegated him to some office somewhere, guess what? Lost to Vanderbilt, got killed at Oklahoma, lost 3 games, and aren't in the college football playoff. What's that lady's name? Miss something, I don't know, his wife, Miss Terry, whatever the hell her name is. You know, they drank a glass of wine, had a toast, said, here's to us. It's the way coaches think, baby. Anyway, he took aim at strength of schedule, being a true factor when it came to rankings and seeding for the college football playoffs. Saban watched as his old team was left out, and he was very happy about it. No, he was. Don't even try it. Of the 12-team field, while SMU was able to get in the bracket despite losing the ACC championship to Clemson. Now, the athletic director, Greg Byrne, pointed out late Saturday that the Crimson Tide were number 3 in opponents' winning percentage, had 3 wins against teams in the college football playoff poll before the bracket was released. He wrote on X that strength of schedule matters. It should. But Saban suggested on ESPN that Alabama might have been thought of more highly of if strength of schedule truly mattered. He's right. If it truly mattered. Here's Saban.
Yeah, but my point earlier was that if SMU was 8 and they played in the conference championship game and they lost by 3 points, they shouldn't be penalized for that necessarily. But my question about all the strength of schedule, 15th strength of schedule versus 60th strength of schedule, that should have been taken into consideration before they ever played in the championship game. All right, so maybe they're ranked 12th, and if they win the game, they get in. If they lose the game, Clemson gets in. All right, so, but it wasn't that way, so now it looks like they have to get penalized. But if it was done based on strength of schedule to start with, that wouldn't have been the case. So I really think that playing in this conference, and I played in this conference for over 20 years, and when you have to go play Tennessee, then you got to go play LSU, all right, then that team that you play next, you may be more vulnerable to. And you have to have a very mature, competitive team that has a lot of depth to be able to play through all these circumstances, and it's very, very difficult. And to not take into consideration when you don't beat one top 25 team, Not one top 25 team. And you went through your whole season and never had to, Indiana didn't do that. SMU really didn't do that. So it makes a huge difference. I mean, the Pittsburgh Steelers got beat by the Cleveland Browns. I mean, we don't sit around and say that should knock them out of the playoffs. They still can play their way into the playoffs by beating other good teams. So that's my point. That's the only one I got. You guys go with it.
Yeah, no, he's right. I mean, I get it. I do. I get it. Strength of schedule should matter. I think playing at the end of the season should matter. But how many things should matter? I mean, hey, look, I'm happy as hell that Indiana's in the playoff, but I know, and I've said from the beginning, before the start of the year, the only possibility for Indiana at the start of the year to play two ranked teams was if Michigan was any good, and they weren't, so they played one. That'll never happen again. Nick Saban isn't wrong. He's not wrong. I'm just not the guy that, like Herbie said yesterday, just slams the committee because it's the committee. Here's what Joe Klatt says. Yeah, I don't know why Joe Klatt got to be such a voice. Who is he? Like, who is Joe Klatt? I know what he does, but who is he? And besides, he's got, like, people. Like, I'm like, why don't we get Joe Klatt? Oh, you got to go through his people. Get out of here. What a horrendous job this committee did. The team that was penalized the most was Oregon, and the team that rewarded the most was Penn State. I guess the Ducks should have laid down in the fourth. Just atrocious. Okay, Joe, I guess. I mean, what were you, backup quarterback or something in Colorado? Great. Okay. I mean, everybody's got an opinion, but I'm going to let it play out. I get it. The fifth spot was the spot to get in. The sixth spot, certainly not bad. That's where Penn State is. But these guys didn't do a horrendous deal. The setup was horrendous. The idea that everybody's going to get a bye because you win your conference, particularly the Big 12, is silly. Everybody, that's just the way the rules went, though. Teams are greedy. Conferences are greedy. ADs are greedy. Commissioners are greedy. They understood that we want to be in this, but we want to be in this with some assurances, and this is what you get. So if this is the committee's fault, God bless you. I mean, you put up, and I'm sure Klatt's been through this, you put up the bracket. And then you go, all right, well, this is how it fell based on the criteria that we were given as a committee. The easiest thing in the world to do is use the committee. The other easiest thing to do is use the words the NCAA. Who specifically on the committee? I mean, all these guys act like insiders, so who was pushing this agenda? Who was pushing this agenda was the setup. The setup of buys, the setup of who's automatic, the setup of where they must be seated. I didn't understand it from the get-go. When we put out the college football poll every week, our guys were telling me, hey, first four teams have to be the conference champs. Well, it's not really a poll then. I don't know what you call it, but it's not a poll. So I get it. I mean, everybody can blame the committee. The committee, the setup was what screwed it. Arizona State in a different setup, even this committee that got it, whatever Klatt says, all right, Arizona State would have been 12th or 11th. But the setup of it dictated, the rules of the game dictated, this is how it went. Some teams got a break, some teams didn't. I mean, if you watch the NCAA tournament, see, people always think there's conspiracies here, and I'll never forget going through. It's an all-day thing at the NCAA. They invited a bunch of us to go through the process the committee goes through. And I'm not going to bore you with all of it, but at the end, we put up our bracket. We came to a bracket. And then Steve Shear, who was running the exercise, got up and said, okay, all you media guys, we haven't talked about any conspiracy things, who's playing who, blah, blah, blah. But let's look. Okay, this coach worked for that coach. He put about 20 of them up there. So maybe I believe more in the bracket. It's easy for outside guys that somehow luck their way into great jobs. Horrendous job. Okay. Yeah. All right. Good for you, man. Hey, Bill Belichick is in the news. News of Belly interviewing for the vacant North Carolina Tar Heels head coaching vacancy took the college football world by surprise this past week. His former quarterback, current Fox announcer, and he does a decent job. I don't know. Tom Brady cannot see him actually taking the job. Really? A lot of things he can do. Obviously, he's tremendous, even showing his personality. But getting out there on the recruiting trail and dealing with all these college kids, Brady said, well, no. But the truth of the matter is you don't have to offer him money. The recruiting side of things was Brady believes Belichick would not want to deal with, as he jokingly made up a scenario of his old coach speaking with a recruit. Listen, do you really want to come here, Brady said, acting as Belichick. I mean, we don't really want you anyway, but I guess you could come. We'll figure out if you play. That's Bob Knight. Smacked me on the side of the head. Hey, Danny, you want to come here and play basketball? Yeah. You offer me a scholarship? Yeah. Hey, it wasn't just Brady that felt some kind of way about Belichick, feeling he would not translate to college ball. Edelman and Gronkowski gave their take. Can you imagine NIL and all that nonsense Gronkowski said? Edelman added, can you imagine Bill on a couch recruiting an 18-year-old? It is kind of funny sitting in there. Here's what Belichick, from the horse's mouth. Here's what Belichick had to say.
Let me put this in capital letters. If. I-F. If I was in a college program, the college program would be a pipeline to the NFL for the players that had the ability to play in the NFL. It would be a professional program, training, nutrition, scheme, coaching, techniques that would transfer to the NFL. It would be an NFL program at a college level and an education that would get the players ready for their career after football, whether that was the end of their college career or at the end of their pro career. But it would be, geared toward, developing the player, time management, discipline, structure, and all that would be life skills, regardless of whether they're in the NFL or in somewhere in business. And I feel very confident that I have the contacts in the National Football League to pave the way for those players that would have the ability to have the opportunity to compete in the National Football League. Whether they're good enough or not, I don't know, but they would be ready for it. I don't have any doubt about that. So that would be the first comment that I would make. Relative to the structure of the program, it would be an NFL program, but not at the NFL level.
Yeah, which is quite a bet.
Yeah, I wouldn't hire him because he doesn't have a way to build the program. I mean, he's just talking. He's saying words. I don't know, man. That's a weird thing for me to come out and say after that, because a lot of people would say, well, yeah, let's go. I don't know, man. There's a lot more to building a program than saying NFL 15 times, which is what he did in there. I don't know. You just fired Mac Brown, an old guy. Now you're going to hire this guy. That's hard for me. I think any team would probably be lucky. Everybody would sit up a little straighter if Bill Belichick was walking around campus. But I got to tell you, man, the number one thing I would do if I were Belichick, he can say all those things, and hopefully he does all those things, sets them up, puts them in motion. But I don't want to know how much NIL money I got. I don't know if you just saw this, but Ryan Williams, the unbelievable wide receiver from Alabama, just put his name in the portal. Like, that's one of the most exciting players maybe I've ever seen as a freshman in college football. And he gone. Woo. College coaching's a mother. You make a lot of money, though. Best thing you can do as a college coach is sign a long-term deal, get fired after 2, and say, adios. People feel sorry for coaches when they get fired. Not this guy. I sent him a note of congratulations. Oh, the Ryan Williams news is fake. I just reported fake news. Wait, what? If it was said on Twitter, Dylan, come on. Man, I saw that a couple different sites that I actually trusted. I'm sorry about that. Dick Card, delete. Let's see if I can give you any other fake news while we go on. Memphis, Tennessee, Memphis Tigers. Hoops was off to a great start. They were off to a great start. Penny Hardaway, who I famously called a child playing coach back when he was hired, when he and Mike Miller were dressed in little sweatsuits sitting on a private plane. They look like children. They look like, I don't know, some boy band from the 90s, maybe Bobby Brown. I don't know any of them. I just know the name Bobby Brown. My wife tells me he was in some band, maybe New Edition. Anyway, let's see here. Memphis Tiger basketball run by this isn't my quote, this is Nick and Nick, the abysmal Penny Hardaway took the diva route by skipping the post-game press conference after a tough loss to Arkansas State. Brian Hodgson did a great job at Arkansas State going in, and he was very apologetic, the coach. Not apologetic, appreciative of the coach, Hardaway, at Memphis for giving him the opportunity to play. Media was just told Memphis players wouldn't be made available following this afternoon's loss. A program spokesman said the players are gone. Sorry, players not being made available to the press after a home loss comes less than a week after head coach Penny Hardaway took accountability for his program's recent struggle in the past. As for the crowd, who may not think players skipped out on media obligations after a loss is notable, gone are the days when college-age athletes can't be held accountable. I would also say this, gone are the dictator-type Bobby Knight coach that would not meet with the press or rip the press. Those days are gone. They are. I'm sorry. Now, nothing's going to happen to Hardaway. Win, baby, win. But I do agree. You got to change with the times. In the days of the coach being the all-encompassing dictator on campus that doesn't have to do what he is asked to do, those are long-ass gone. College athletes are paid nowadays. Some cases paid hundreds of thousands of dollars. Therefore, speaking to media and fans who are seemingly paying your salary should be a requirement. That's interesting to me. As a coach, I say, yeah, screw that. But as a coach, I would also say, he's right. Look, I got to go get money from boosters. I got all these different collectives there. I've got to make players available, accessible, likable, because these folks are paying the salary. It is an interesting dynamic. When I first saw this yesterday, I thought to myself, so what? Good for Hardaway. He's pissed. Then I started thinking about it. Different world. Now, does it ultimately matter for Hardaway and his team? It will. It will if the team falls apart later in the year. Because what happens is media gets that list. And that list can go back 10 years if you've been there 10 years. And that listing, well, he didn't have players go to a post-game press conference. Whatever. Anyway, I don't know. I was on one side. Now I'm if I went back into coaching, which I won't, I would be all things to all people. Yeah, what the hell? Neil Degrasse Tyson says there's no inherent difference between men and women of the same weight class in sports, and this is coming from a man that's a scientist. Okay, I don't know who's paying you, but God bless you. You're getting that cat money. Should we actually listen to this lunatic left, when they say they trust science? All right, Piers Morgan had him on his show. Let's hear from it.
What I said was the idea of creating categories within a sport, splitting them in the example I gave, which I just made it up, like hormone ratios, is not fundamentally weird compared to dividing wrestlers by weight.
No,
because
it is.
The only
it
reason
is.
why you
I'm
do
going to
this
respond.
is to make an interesting contest.
No, Neil, you're wrong.
And so you said Floyd Mayweather fight. Hold on.
You're
you
wrong.
said Floyd Mayweather.
You're not allowing for
and
the superior male biology when it comes to lung capacity, stamina, to body mass, to muscle mass, all those things. If you just take one criteria of hormones, you're not allowing all that. I'll give an example. Caitlyn Jenner, who obviously... hang on. I'm going to finish my point. Let me finish my point. Caitlyn Jenner was a Olympic male decathlon gold medal winner. Caitlyn is a big golf fan. And when she started playing golf after she transitioned, she was allowed to play off the women's tees, which are 50 yards further than the men's tees. And she quickly realized that she was still smashing it 300 yards down, and obviously was then beating all the women that she played. So she now plays back off the male tees because her biology is that of a man. And I feel that was the most honest way to deal with it. I also feel that if you want to have a separate category, have a trans category. Or have trans women compete against men, which is their biology. Isn't that the scientific way to resolve this?
Yeah, I mean, my stance. Let everybody play, baby. Just let them all play against the dudes. Easy. You can make it there. You can make it anywhere. It's like New York. In light of the Daniel Penny, thank God. Like, what are we doing? Daniel Penny he got free. He was crushing beers last night. I love him. In light of Daniel Penny's acquittal after being tried by deranged left-wing district attorney Alvin Bragg, Phil Mickelson, one of the greatest in the game of golf, is coming out as based. I don't know what based means. Somebody put in my ear what based means after posting a string of tweets commending Penny for saving those subway riders from Jordan Neely. The funniest thing in the Neely thing is that now Neely's dad is saying, I miss my son. Really? You left him homeless, 42 arrests. I mean, where the hell were you? Everybody's looking to get that. Oh, based is opposite of woke. Call me based. I'm based. Yeah, I am. Here's Mickelson, random thoughts from Phil Mickelson. He's right about the first one. Tirico and Collingsworth are great in the booth. Day of the Jackal is an incredible show. If a deranged individual threatens to kill you, let's hope there's a Daniel Penny around. Bingo! Look at Phil making a big comeback from the stupidity that he faced from morons just because of a comment he made. Honest to God, just stop it. Finally, a little common sense. Never should have been a trial. He should be commended for selfless actions to protect the other passengers, and those who brought charges should be out of a job. Here's what people don't understand. Black folks, at least idiots in New York, are mad because Mickelson did this to a black man. Well, a black man was helping Penny, not Mickelson. A black man was helping Penny, who, oh, by the way, was protecting a black woman. Isn't it amazing how those details just kind of get lost and we show the idiot yelling and screaming and doing all that stupid stuff on the courthouse steps? Isn't it amazing how the truth gets lost? Well, I'm here to give you the truth. And this is that idiot. He's a guy named Hawk Newsom. Let's hear from Hawk Newsom.
We need some black vigilantes.
That's right.
People want to jump up and choke us and kill us for being loud. How about we do the same when they attempt to oppress us?
Right.
I'm tired.
I'm tired. How about he's protecting a black woman with the help of a black man, and this idiot is trying to get paid. Speaking of trying to get paid, Jordan Neely's father, who abandoned him all his life, never paid attention to him. He's mad now. He's trying to get paid, too. Everybody's trying to get paid. Here we are. Let's hear from Jordan Neely's daddy.
I just want to say I miss my son. My son didn't have to go through this. I didn't have to go through this either. It hurts. Really, really hurts. What are we going to do, people? What's going to happen to us now? I had enough of this. System is rigged. Come on, people. Let's do something about this.
Powerful. Dude abandoned his own son. 42 arrests this guy had. He was homeless. Where was the father then? Maybe the father did the best he could. I don't know. What exactly would you like done about it? You want to rape, rob, you want to loot? What do you want to do, son? You abandoned your son his entire life. You didn't pay attention. You were a guy that squirted a little bit of you in a woman and made a kid. I know that's gross, but that's what you did. You weren't a father. Now, maybe that's unfair, and it probably is. But when you look at somebody that's homeless, that's been arrested 42 times, where was the dad? I know where he is now. Let's do something about this. Really? I don't know. I don't think the American people, black, white, are going to stand for that. I don't think they're up for that. I think, you know what, we kind of seen it, done it. I don't know. Yeah, got a few more people on television and all that, but boy, oh boy, burning up cities because a career criminal was attacking a woman. Didn't we do that already with George Floyd? Maybe I'm wrong. Before we go, calling all OutKick fans, see my OutKick shirt? I love it. I do. It's a great fitting shirt. I am a fabric-ophobe. I'm weird about fabric. OutKick fans, member of the Don't At Me Army. I don't know, do we have? Hey, Dylan, speak in my ear. Do we have Don't At Me gear? We should. Get ready to deck your wardrobe with the exclusive OutKick holiday clothing line. Embrace the spirit of the season while showing off your bold and patriotic fashion sense. That's right. Remember, use code HOLIDAY for 20% off. Shop at shop.outkick.com to get our exclusive offer. Again, use the code HOLIDAY at shop.outkick.com to unlock. I think we got Don't At Me gear. I don't know. Our exclusive 20% off offer, sacking the living hell up. Celebrate the holiday season with a little gear from our OutKick site. Hey, Nick, Dylan told me that's a Nick and Nick question. How can we not have sack up gear? How can we not have Don't At Me gear? It's all the rage. It should be.